Hello, welcome back. I'm Tonya from Tonya's Witchy Kitchen, and how are you today? Guess what time it is? It's time for lunch. No, I'm kidding. It's December. It's finally December. Oh my gosh, it's December. That's my thought process. Do you know Bubble Guppies? Do you know the theme song to cartoons? I know more songs of the Wiggles and Dora and, all these songs. And yeah, it's crazy. That's what kids do to you. We lived in our suburban, like me and the kids. If they had activities and living 20 to 30 miles out of town, depending which location we were at, it made it hard for them to be in after school activities. I didn't really want to limit them, it was so I made it work. We lived basically out of the suburban. Like, I'd pick them up from school. You'd go and, do a couple things and then take them to their activity. Most of the time we stayed there because, what else was I going to do unless I had to do shopping or something really quick, but I didn't really like to leave them there by themselves. Paranoid parent. But, yeah, so, a lot of times we ended up, because this was our first vehicle with a DVD player, which was really cool. So that's what we did. We, watched movies. I actually had XM radio in my suburban for a few years. And I finally told my husband, I said, I don't know why we have it. If it's for the few times that you are with us, like, we don't need it because I don't get to listen to it. It's always movies, movies, movies. Thomas the Train, The Wiggles, Backyardigans, whatever we had with, right? And so, yeah, it was like, you might as well cancel XM because I don't get to listen to it. I was basically outvoted. But that was okay. But yeah, it was hard. We made do. When my son was, he played flag football or something. No, it was not flag. He did play flag football, but he was also in, this regular football, which ran a little longer. So we put packed sandwiches and stuff for supper and actually eat in the suburban, and because we just couldn't afford to eat out. It's a thing. It's totally a thing, you guys. But yeah, we're not gonna get on the poor I was so poor jokes. Are you do you have those things where somebody says something and you just automatically pick up this cartoon slogan? Yeah. Yes. But it's actually December, and today we are doing a soap. I kind of looked back and I was like, wow, we haven't done soaps for a while, not since the winter soaps, which were the beginning of November. And I was like, whoa, well, let's do some soaps this week. I did promise you one. I'm not sure which one we're doing. There's two for this week. And the one was the one I promised you, which was hellacious and a disaster, and somehow it turned out stellar. Disaster, but stellar. It doesn't, they don't go together, do they? But maybe we'll start with that one. Yeah. So this was a strategic, off the wall. So many things. But you'll see it. 3 things. Dream big, be true to you. You are worth it. And let's go check out this Lego soap. I don't know what to say. When I get an idea, I get an idea. Actually, it was my daughter's idea because we were making little crayons out of the Legos molds that I have, and that's where this escalated to. This fragrance oil is, I think it's black raspberry vanilla. Like every fragrance oil company has a black raspberry vanilla. There's no vanilla in it. It doesn't discolor. They just want to freak you out. Okay, but to start, I had to measure out and plan. This took a lot of planning. Figure out how much soap I needed for each of those little molds, the little guys and the little Legos, and then to do my layers. Okay, so this had a lot of layers to it, and yeah, it was a lot of planning. And I'm not sure, there are other ways I could have done this, and after doing it I'm just like, wow, why didn't I think of that the first time? But it was all a test. It was all, can I do this or can I not do this, or what the heck am I doing, right? All a test. Fun test. Took forever, as you'll see. But so the first one is that grape ape. I want to say it's grape ape. This is not my notes. Where the heck are my notes? Oh gosh, this is only part of it. Oh no, this is the one. Yeah, okay, grape ape. I'm so sorry. So I had those. I had like 5.53 ounces. No, that's for the blocks. I had 1.7 ounces of batter for the purple. I just measured each little guy, length, width, depth, and multiplied it by the 0.553 for ounces, and how much batter I needed, multiplied it by 8. It's all a thing. If you have questions about that, let me know. And the same with the yellow. I just figured out how much I needed per little block, and then multiplied it, and got my numbers. So it needed about 6.22 ounces for the mold. But I also was strategic in this, as at the same time I was making a layer. A half an inch, I think, is what the bottom came to. So I wanted one flat mold. So I'm using my square mold, see? And then that was to make my layers that are going to be in between the layers that are going to make the blocks in the soap. Right? So it was a lot of math, it was a lot of figuring, and I screwed up anyway. I literally screwed up anyway. I added more batter to one section, and then I shorted myself on the other section, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It turned out. So those are going to set up overnight, about 12 hours, and I should have banged them down harder. I really should have banged them down. They did go in the freezer for a little bit after that, just to make sure I could get them out of the mold without them, bending or whatever. But it's like the next day. It's 12 hours later. Okay, maybe it's 24. I can't remember. It's 24. So then I need to cut each of these blocks into 3, because they're going to be blocks in my soap. Okay? So we're going back into the same mold we used. But see, if I would have banged them down, they would have been a little more even. Do you see how that one edge is thinner than the middle? And, it's all a thing, but I'm like, we're going to work with it anyway. I'm not stopping. It's crazy. It's a crazy process, but it was lots of fun. It was a good challenge. I know there's people who, would have excelled at this, but I was pretty proud of myself at the end. Yeah, I love Legos. My daughter gave me a Lego set like 2 years ago. I still haven't put it together. I just don't have time. And then where am I going to put it? Yeah, but my kids love Legos, and my grandkids love Legos. So here's the rest. I'm just, like I said, pouring it off. It was just some oils that I had mixed together, and it has a lot of oils: coconut, castor, grapeseed, rice bran, sunflower, tallow, palm. Yeah, it has a whole thing. And then it was a little short. Like I said, I shortened myself to start with, and I used poured off oil for the colors. And when you do that, you shorten yourself. So to make this batch with the lye, I needed to add more oil to bring it up to the amount that I had made the lye for. Yeah, all a thing. Yeah, so sometimes you're wondering, like, what is she doing? It's because, I messed up on something. Always. But yeah, so this is just the second part of the soap. And I did all the things. I brought it to emulsion, I added the fragrance oil, blah, blah, blah. I don't need to show you that again because you don't care. So back to measuring the same amount in these, I think. What is the same amount? I think so, because I was figuring each layer was if you layered them like a layered soap, you'd have the same amount in each layer. So that's what I was doing for each color. Each color got a layer, because these are going to be solid colors in the soap. And you'll see what I mean. Okay? Like if you had, when you're building with Legos, and you have a big block and it's totally across the bottom, and then you join them together so you have separate blocks, so then you have 3 and then you have a solid block. That was my thought process here. The hard part about this was I forgot I had to let these set up enough to hold those blocks that I was doing. So I did put the blue on a heat pad for about 5 minutes, which was really hard to do because I was like, I was so worried my colors were going to set up, even though it was like, what do you care if they set up? They need to get thick. They need to, But they were so fluid. This was, I didn't talk to you about master batching, did I? No. Oh, yeah. Okay. It's fine. It's good. It's all good. We can talk about that another day. Here are my blocks. I did put them in the freezer. I was really still worried about those little nubs on top. And I think I only broke one at the end, where the nubs came off. I was impressed with myself. And yeah, because you just never know, even with the crayons, when you make crayons out of them, the men kind of can, lose a leg or, a head or, so I was like, this is soap. This isn't going to be as solid. Is it going to be as solid as a crayon? Not yet, Okay, here's disaster number 1. How to get these in. I didn't wait long enough. That was the problem. I didn't wait long enough. I didn't have a good plan. I didn't have a good execution. And I had a mess. I had a total disaster of a mess. And I was not happy. And I was like, I really, for a split second, I was like, I'm just going to junk this. I'm just going to junk this. And then I'm like, no, you've got all the numbers correct. You've got all the everything's dialed in. It's just the execution. I can do this. So see, soap fail. But what do? You keep going. You keep going. That's why I kept telling myself, keep going. I had soap all over, like blue soap all over the place. And I put it back on the heat pad and I left it there for another 5 minutes. Okay, after I cleaned up my sticks and everything. Okay, back to step 2. I cleaned them all off and yes, and I was like, okay, I can do this because it's set up really well now, and I just need to get them in where they're straight and they don't allow the blue to come through. Ta-da! I did it. Oh, I was so excited. Yep. Do you see my thought process here? So now I'm going to put another layer on. I guess I didn't know which one I was doing. Putting another layer down, and obviously a lot thicker than the first, but that's okay. I needed it thick. Okay? I needed it thick. And doing the same thing. I did put it back on the heat pad, hoping it would, since the bottom was warm and, maybe it would help it set up a little faster. So, back to the same thing. Yeah, tap it down. Don't move anything. And we're back. And the next layer. So I alternated those. Oh gosh, I'm just a disaster. I alternated those. So the bottom layer is yellow, green, yellow. The middle layer is green, yellow, green. And this one's yellow, green, yellow. 3 of each. 3 yellow, 3 green. Do you see? Yeah. So, yeah, I know. I'll never be perfect. Which is okay. It's totally fine. My grandson thought these were the thing. Like, holy cow, right? But, so yes, next went the orange layer. And I think I put them back on the heat pad. Just, I don't know, because I was just, wishful thinking. It wasn't totally thickened up, and, that was my thought process here. And yeah, ignore my ugly box, but that's what the mold goes in, and I wanted to get it all set up, and so I didn't have to move it once, like pick it up and put it in the box and all that stuff. Because I did C-pop this. This is all cold process, so didn't have to worry about C-popping is that really a thing to C-pop at a lower temp? I don't know. It's been on the heat pad so many times. It's got to be halfway gelled by now. I don't know. So yeah, so this was the next step, was putting the blocks on and trying to get them even and pushed together really well, so that it looked like, when I cut it, that depending on how they cut, I get a good soap, right? That they all come out as a nice soap. And then I had to cut some in half, to get the end pieces, get the end pieces correct. Yeah, I guess I had extras. I did have extras. There was no way I could do it to get it equal with my numbers. Either way, it was going to be short a square or something. So I didn't want to be short a square or make a whole nother set. That just kind of sounded dumb. So this is what I did. And then I had to figure out where I was putting my men. And I do sort of kind of have these little black marks on my mold to show me where where I end up cutting. And I just figured I was going to get as close as I could. And because of my soap cutter the way it is, I can just cut them individually. And if I have to shave off a head or something, or just a smidge of an arm, I'd be okay. Off with his head. Yeah. So this was a process too. It was, getting them in there and straight, and I didn't want them to fall off. So I had to, it was a thing. It was a thing. Yeah, probably one of my more difficult soaps this year. I did a lot of soaps this year. A lot of different ones, yeah. But this was a big mathematical challenge on top of it. And then just executing. Sometimes it's the executing part, because it's all good in your brain, and then you get to the execution part, and I'm going to do this, and it doesn't go the way you planned. That's a lot of my year, you guys. It never goes the way I plan. Oh, but look at this. This is not bad. It's very colorful, very pretty. Yeah, little smear down the side there, but I wasn't going to complain about that at all. No way. And I just did that to bring those colors out so they were more straight. And you'll see what I mean with the blocks, because it's not that bad, guys. Not that bad. And while I'm cutting these, let's take a vote. Who still likes to play with Legos? Because I know my kids, like I said, my kids do. I don't think my husband, I don't know, I'd have to ask him. But, I mean, you can be creative. Okay, here, let's do this. If you play with Legos, do you like to do random building, or do you like to stick to the instructions and build specifically by the instructions? I'm an instruction type of person. When we were little, we had one Lego set that we had to share. So it was a Cenex station with a bakery, or a Shell, I can't remember, with a bakery in it. So I got the bakery little area, and my brothers did the gas station stuff. But anyway, aren't these cute? Aren't these cute? They turned out really super cute. Like, look at that. Okay, so like I said, they're not perfect. They're not exact. But because I shorted myself on the layers. That's where my soap shortage came in, which you knew. And then, of course, I had blue all over. But they turned out cute, didn't they? They turned out super cute. Like, I'm so proud of myself because, like I said, it was a big task to figure out all the soapy things and to come up with this. And I don't know, I never did look if there's Lego soaps out there, guys. So if there are, cool. This is mine. That's all I can say. This is mine. Here are the fragrance notes, but it really smells like black raspberry. I am sorry. Here's the soap after I cut it, and here it is as it has cured. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you like Legos. I hope you had a good time. Thank you for dropping by. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.